For the last time today, we welcome you back to the analysis desk over here for the opening day of the DreamHack Warcraft 3 Championship, where just like in Group A, we've got the rematch. The opening match was XlorD versus Chaemiko, and we have it once more. I am joined by Carson and Remo. Carson, why is the rematch going to be different?
Well, I think Chaemiko has a lot of experience. We keep calling him the best in the world, and I think he is, and he proved it. I mean, he played, pretty much had everything thrown at him in that last series, and he managed to make it work. It was a weird, crazy series, that is true, but it'll be much more standard now. Probably, maybe even might see a XlorD for once, but I think he'll be warmed up and prepared.
It wasn't quite as convincing though, Remo, as I expected it to be.
Yeah, honestly, with the ELO rankings and the recent performance, we would have expected a clear 2-0 for Chaemiko. He's considered the best human. Not the best performance by him today so far, we gotta be honest. But it seemed like against Lucy he knew what was coming. He had his own answers. Against the DreadLord he did. With the Mass Air he did. It once failed, but he had a plan coming. I think against XlorD perhaps less of a plan, but now he has more info and he knows better.
Of course, we want to hear from you guys at home who you think is going to win. Hashtag XLO for XlorD or hashtag CHA for Chaemiko. I'm excited for it, guys. I mean, the first one you guys kind of hyped up for me as a big match. I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit for it. Let's see if Todd is onto something, is Undead really that good against human? It kind of looked like it in the first series.
True, yeah, it did definitely look like it. And that Pit Lord push, honestly, in my opinion, isn't supposed to work that cleanly if you only get a couple of peasant kills, but XlorD just made it work. He played so well. So if he can continue that form, even if we see the best of Chaemiko, it might be no different.
Remo, we've already seen the head-to-head earlier today, but we're going to take another look at it. Does anything for this for you really stands out?
I'm not much of a numbers guy. I'm going to go by my gut feeling. I know that Chaemiko can play much better than he did. I've seen this guy play so well at a lot of ESL Open Cups, and I have seen his potential if he can now finally bring it to the table. Maybe it was the new stage, maybe something was off, maybe now he's warmed up. I hope he is. He will need to be, because XlorD, he never falters on the big stage.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit odd though, because I actually saw some of the setups they have. The players have PCs in their room as well, so it's not like he just came from Korea and rushed to the studio and had to sit down and play games. No, they've all been here for 2 days. They've been getting ready for everything. They've been able to play some games from the hotel room, but it didn't seem like he was ultra warmed up. I believe we're going to kick things off on Tidehunters. Carson, your thoughts?
Well, I think this is very important. Chaemiko, if he can get a reset here and make it out of the group, he's got, some time to finally prepare, and we can see the true Chaemiko. So now or never, let's call it. Let's see.
I had a little chat with XlorD while that previous series was going on, and I was like, who do you prefer, Lucifer or Lucael or Chaemiko? And he's like, maybe Chaemiko, actually. He's like, because Undead vs. Human is not too bad. Right, Todd? And Todd is like, you sure? Are you surprised about that, Ra?
I think he's really confident in that matchup. The stats also reflected for him. He's shown it time and time again in the Meisterschaft. He was kind of not so confident a while ago, but now he is again. Thanks to the strength of Happy and also other things. Practice going well. He's been practicing like crazy with Sock. He's been getting ready. And he's got more confidence now than even before, if you can imagine it.
I mean, if we go back to that earlier best of 3 they had in the beginning of the day, obviously there were a couple of unnecessary Archmage losses, right? Like if we can just prevent those, if we can keep that old man on the horse a little bit healthier, maybe Chaemiko can actually play his A-game. It is time for us to do predictions, everyone's favorite part of the show. I'm going to start off with you, Remo. What's it going to be?
Well, I'm going to be stubborn and stay with my boy XlorD. I can't betray him now. 2-1.
I've been wrong all day, so let's do the opposite of what I thought. I would say XlorD 2-0, but I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to say Chaemiko 2-1 here.
Ooh, I mean, that'd be a nice little story going into the playoffs as well. I think I'm going to stay with XlorD. He just looked really good, and once more, I said it before, if you can beat Todd, I truly believe you can beat anyone. It doesn't matter the era. If you can take down Johan Merlo, is there anyone on this planet you cannot take down, Remo?
I don't think so. Whether it's in-game or with a rear naked choke, it's a great feat. I have managed both. No, I wish I had. I had actually not. If he hears that, he's going to come running over right away.
What about a Hitman?
I heard he already beat you on the ladder last week. He's going to upload the game to YouTube as well. So if I were you, I'd tread carefully.
He did most of the time, but I beat him a couple of times as well.
Oh, I didn't hear this story.
It counts.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Twitch chat. What do you guys think? 57% is on the side of the German. I think after that initial best of 3, that's pretty reasonable.
Can't complain with that. I'm surprised it's not even more favored. I mean, that was dominant 2-0. It was quick as well. The Pit Lord finished off the game. As you know, every Undead fantasizes a game ending like that. You just pick up your third hero and go GG. Like, you know, it was perfect.
All right, Remo, any final thoughts real quick before I throw it to the casters?
I want to see the Crypt Lord. Where my boy the Crypt Lord at?
All right, Carson, last thoughts?
I wouldn't mind seeing a Crippler either. I said it earlier. I thought I was going to see a bunch of it. I think I echo that. I would love to see it as well.
I just hope we see another Dreadlord. I'm kidding, guys. Let's go ahead and throw it over to the casters. Neo and Todd are ready. Have fun with the last best of 3 of the day.
We got a Night Elf and 2 Orcs in the playoffs already, and we get a little more diversity in the top 8 because it's either the first Undead or it's the first human. Todd, I guess I know what your heart is cheering for.
Who?
Yeah, who?
You know what's funny? I haven't even balanced complaint once on this broadcast.
I know.
And then people keep quoting me. They keep being like, yeah, Todd thinks Undead is really good against human. Like,
It's just what your heart is saying, not what your brain is saying. Anyway, it's grudge match time. XlorD versus Chaemiko 2. The first one was an utter destruction, but Chaemiko is looking better and better. So, on the upper left-hand side of Tide Hunters in Mouse Red is the German Meister, is XlorD.
say it.
Meister?
Vamos.
Vamos! Ready, willing, able.
His opponent in the yellow from South Korea playing human, it is Chaemiko. Rocking that black plain tee. What it means business, man.
He is.
Why no turtleneck though?
Maybe he saves that for the player or something. We'll see about that. This is a very interesting match. These are two players who oftentimes are fly a little bit under the radar of the rest of the region. XlorD, of course, overshadowed by Happy and by Foggy. For Chaemiko, there is oftentimes the Moons, the Lins, the Lawlights even, who are a little bit more successful than him. But now is what counts. Who's going to follow Foggy and Focus and Hitman into the round of 8?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Death Knights from XlorD so far, and it seems to be what he's most confident with. Up to this point, was very successful in his first series against Chaemiko. I expect Chaemiko to play a lot better this time around to make big adjustments. I think the opener wasn't a problem. The last time they played on Tidehunter, I really liked the way the game was going, up until the point he didn't start his Mountain King. And then he got sieged in the main base, he wasn't ready, he lost his Archmage very sloppily, and then it all went downhill, completely snowball out of control in XlorD's favor from there. So Chaemiko should just get the similar start, but then not make the same mistakes in the mid-game with the macro.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I think that's also what we saw in his series versus Lucy. He has stabilized, and that mistake will probably not happen again. But we have to raise the question, like, what happened to the Crypt Lord? In DreamHack Winter, XlorD was destroying Johnny Cage with that Crypt Lord, and we've seen it a couple of times afterwards. And now the Crypt Lord has just vanished, not only for XlorD, but for seemingly every Undead.
Yeah, it seems like XlorD just found new confidence with the Death Knights. He understood like some of the timings he needs to go for. Definitely a bit of a gamble. I'm not sure if he scouted in that game where he went for Pit Lord in his siege. You're very committed to doing damage if you go Pit Lord, right? Because it's going to be harder. Like you got a third hero that's 5 supply that puts you at 50 earlier, or even above 50. So it's harder to go into Banshees. And also, like, if you have to go into Creeping after that, that's going to be one hero that you can't really level because you'd want to prioritize the Death Knight and Lich. So it worked out pretty well for him, but this time around Chaemiko will be put on notice about this kind of timing. He should be more careful. And perhaps extra towers, perhaps making sure he starts his Mountain King might be enough as well.
Yeah, I think in the first lower bracket final in Group A, we mentioned this Re might have some more tricks up his sleeve. Here, we 100% know XlorD can play Crypt Lord if this situation requires it. And maybe if the series doesn't go too well, he can still dash it out. I think also the map picks and bans speak a little bit to a degree that Chaemiko was expecting that, but okay. It's basically the standard DK, again with gloves and claws. That's nice, and for Chaemiko also a claw, not too bad. Nobody can complain. I mean, everybody can complain. It's
well,
fair.
if you get a ring, you can complain. Actually, and you should complain, in fact.
Yeah, I know.
Send that feedback form.
Oh, what?
Feedback form to the.
Is that surround close?
Oh
yes,
my God.
instant TP! Big exclamation mark for Chaemiko.
Yeah, that's one of the best early game you could ever get if you're able to force that Town Pole like he just did. He's gonna run to the shop. We know Chaemiko loves Staff of Teleportation. Last game, or last series when they played on this map, XlorD was perfectly prepared. So this time around, it might be better for Chaemiko to actually fake the attacks towards the main base and instead just not commit. I think if he had done that, he would have fared better. Like, you're supposed to threaten the counter-attack, but if Undead is ready in position for the defense, then you don't actually go for it. He was actually very stubborn with still going for the attack, but XlorD sneaked around. Oh my god, can he cancel that tower? It's almost finished, just a few seconds away.
He staffed, but is that enough? Oh man, if only you could coil towers, right? That's a great balance idea if you ask me, but I don't think the damage is enough.
The skeletons couldn't make it because the peasants blocked them.
Very well done, and you see how well Chaemiko is at the micropod. We saw a couple of blocks before here against the DK. This snaps around, and now XlorD has to be a little careful. The Fiend heard already. DK can't get surrounded another time, otherwise it's the quick GG.
That was sick. I really thought that tower was going to go down, and then it would be the floodgates open. Then you get the Lich getting in there, roads of necromancy, skeletons for days, peasants dying left and right. But no, instead he saves the tower, really pushes this back, and Chaemiko is doing amazing so far in this game. Buys an extra class of attack, so he has plus 10 now on the Archmage.
This is the relatively new development. I think we see it in the past 1.5 months or something, how much attention the human players are putting into this marketplace. Happy has paved the way, and everybody seems to follow, and rightfully so. This Archmage hits like a truck.
Yeah, plus 10 is really, really huge here, and really threatening those units. Like, we see the Death Knight, he's not working with a lot of mana either, so it's not like there's gonna be like, you know, 3 cards to save everything.
The Fiend at the top, gotta be careful. I think there was a block, but okay.
He might be dead.
Can he
And I think, even if he cards, because it's not gonna be a lot of hit points replenished, I think the Archmage is gonna be set up on the intercept course here.
XlorD wiggles out of this situation really, really well, but of course this is all time.
Footman on the intercept.
Yeah, spending on saving a unit or two, and he's not getting anything done. Far away from 3, Fiends all hurt. This is not XlorD's game at all, and maybe everything's for nothing, because here are the Chaemiko blocks again. He's really one of the best in that department.
Yeah, when it comes down to pathing, blocking, surrounds and all that, it's quite amazing. And honestly, I'm surprised at how well this is going here for him so far this game. Like, complete reverse from some of the games that we've seen before. Even against Lucael, actually, like on Autumn Leaves, you know, he lost so many peasants, he was out of position at the wrong time. So far, honestly, this has been as close to perfect as it's ever gonna get. Really minimized his losses, got a perfect surround, killed the Fiends. He's got all the momentum in the world. Now we have to pay attention when his tier 2 finishes, because that's when all things started going downhill last time that he played against XlorD, right? Because he started Castle immediately, but just didn't have the number for mount tanking after that for a long time.
We have a second Drax, so this is already very different from what we've seen before. It's not going to be the mass air. Second Rex at the Expo. Is that mass rifles or just a preparation for Knights later?
Yeah, no, it's to be part of the wall. You don't want to use your shot necessarily as part of the wall because it dies really quick, and then you kind of need that to buy Orb and Staff of Sanctuary later on. So it's actually Sok was the one that started doing this first, and he did very well with it. You can get a lot of footmen with defense to deal with Fiends. So yeah, it still should be Castle, Knights and all that, which right now it's not starting because Chaemiko doesn't have the lumber. He's not starting Castle for all this time.
Okay, let's see how this defense is going. In the first series, XlorD was microing the Acolytes massively. Does he have the coils to keep his Acolytes safe? He's in the middle of the tech. He's not supposed to lose any Acolytes here right now. Footman getting Nova, getting attacked by ghouls, all for the defense for XlorD. One Echo about to drop, but Tech is also finishing in 5 seconds. So Chaemiko maybe a little overcommitting to this push right here.
He's preventing some mining time, he's killing some Acolytes. Obviously, you don't want to feed too many footmen, but we see the Death Knight is not even level 3 yet. The Water Elementals would give that to him, because they give quite a bit of experience. Lich should be picking up Orb really soon. That's on the Death Knight right now. And on the other side, Castle started as tier 3 finished for XlorD, so big tech differential. And I wonder if we're going to see another Pitlord push here, blindly in the main base from XlorD.
Possibly, and again, we have Mountain King later than the Castle, but that is the norm, not nearly as late as before. Look at this undead base, so many corpses. Would love to know how many Acolytes fell. Not too many, I think, but it's so much mining time. XlorD for like half a minute or even longer, not with 5 Acolytes at the Haunted Gold Mine, and that hurts if your opponent is on 2 bases.
Well, I thought he had the Orb, but actually he didn't. That's a big problem. You're supposed to have orb here. He's been tier 3 all this whole time. That's done nothing for him. He starts destroy form.
Incredible. Incredible play by...
Oh, the Archmage gets off with stuff.
And again, just like that. Not even the TP committed, instantly going for the clarity.
That means he was there for 90 seconds. He got in and out with the stuff.
True. Oh my god.
He made himself at home in the Meister's apartment.
Yeah. Very, very cozy, very, very inviting apparently. So now...
XlorD went to the fridge. He was really expecting to find his usual bratwurst, but all he found was kimchi in the fridge and an open can of milk that wasn't even closed back.
Chaemiko is banking quite hard. 1400 gold. XlorD looking jealously at that bank. And he's contesting the middle to not let XlorD spiral out of control. Don't give him level 3 Lich if you can prevent that. Whew, now finally we got the orb at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, and he has only 3 Fiends. Remember, like, losing that one earlier. Like, this game is just the ultimate snowball by Chaemiko. Like, it started off really well with the surround, and then from there was able to get a very important snipe on the Fiend. And then after that, his attack is, like, so much stronger. And it's a game of details as well, where XlorD was just missing a little bit of extra gold for him to be able to get the orb and do so much better against that attack earlier. I see a Temple on the way. Perhaps double Temple Banshee, but I mean, his economy is not even that great here.
It's really interesting. It will take quite a while to go to Master Banshees. And also Chaemiko, very interesting build. Throwing in some breakers very early on.
And that's to counter Banshees.
Yeah. But I haven't seen that in a long time. Usually lots of humans are going Knights, Gyros, and then mix in Mortar teams and a lot of staffs later.
Yeah.
What do these breakers do?
Well, the breakers, they can send back Curse. They also feed back and drain mana against heroes, statues, or even Banshees. But yeah, sending back Curse is the most important part. If you don't have any breakers and you're playing with a lot of Knights, Banshees are going to hard counter you super hard, not just with Possession, but also with Curse. So you have to go for breakers. So even though you are already at double racks, it doesn't mean that he has to overcommit to Knights. You should just get a couple Knights. It's kind of like that old perfect army composition against CryptLord, remember? Where guys like Blades or the humans that were doing really good against CryptLord, they would just get like 4 to 6 Knights, some breakers, some casters. They would mix in Mortars to counter Banshees, mix in Flying Machines to counter Destroyers.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Lionheart of Stormwind, you could argue, oh, he has a Paladin already, you can skill that one, but you want to keep the Paladin safe, so with Divine Shield it is, and he nonetheless has all the 3 spells of the Paladin. Not too bad. Mountain King also protected by that ring at this stage of the game. Not even you can complain about a ring on a Mountain King. Okay, you of course can, but you should.
It's okay actually right now, yeah, on the Mountain King. Especially because he's got claws on the Archmage.
For XlorD, we don't see a third hero. I'm curious if that is due to his resources being so low. Oh, Pally, careful, one of the wind. Lich also in trouble. And the wind goes down. Man, what an engagement.
Yeah. Oh, the Mountain King is going to bolt the Death Knight.
Uh-oh.
There is a Town Portal. He's trying to block. If he can get in range for the next bolt, that would be a Town Portal forced. He's going to try to threaten the units, goes for a Fiend. There is at least one more coil. But I might still die.
Yeah, there's no burrow. And even if there's burrow, there's gyros. Again, trying to slow down the units, but man, Chaemiko with this excellent blocking, you're not moving an inch, my friend.
My god, that was so sick of a chase. 38 supply to 70.
Unbelievable.
And XlorD is trying to go for mass Banshees. He added the second Temple earlier, which he let finish, but he doesn't really have anything yet. He hasn't been able to get anything going this game. He's actually floating quite a bit of gold right now. Whereas on the other side, we already have breakers. Chaemiko very easily could go into Mortars. He's actually getting a huge engine. What the?
Okay.
Maybe he wants to drop it in the gold mine.
I was about to say that, Todd. When we were casting on Monday's ESL Cup, he did that versus Happy, and Happy defended it just masterfully, which...
Oh, the Pala.
Oh, good. He got Divine Shield now. But yeah, Happy was defending it masterfully, and Chaemiko was going into some sort of tank rage, went for quad workshop and tried to out-tank him. That's probably not gonna happen here. Just for distraction, just to slow his opponent down a notch.
Yeah, I think in this kind of game, it's more about harassing the main base a little bit. You see he's getting refined gunpowder. If you get 2 tanks in a Zeppelin and you drop them on the gold mine with +2 attack, that gold mine's gonna die a lot of the time.
Yep.
Because Undead has to TP and defend instantly. In this game, I mean, it's a low econ game for XlorD. You know, he's been struggling the entire time. He's barely at 50 supply here. He can't get much going. And it's also about if you can force even just a couple mid-wagons from the opponents, and you only commit to 2 tanks, it's very good for you later on, because then you have an effective army against, you know, mid-wagons that are not that great in the fight.
100%. And he's preparing for mortar teams, which are essential against Banshees. XlorD is definitely not ready yet. 51 supply. Chaemiko almost maxed out on low upkeep. The creeps are making this a little wonky. But Chaemiko is still huge lead in this game.
And also, yeah, to answer your question about the third hero, when you go for this double temple, you're supposed to skip the third hero. So you don't have that 5 supply. That's not going to do that much for you. Your goal is to get to 5-5.
Okay.
You really want to get to 5-5 because then, since you have Banshees, your biggest threat is Mortars. And then you're going to have Nova 3, Coil 3.
Pretty good against them, I guess, just as it is against Knights. Oh, Town Portal out from...
All the tanks.
Basically,
Oh my god, he did a web! He got out! Peace!
There's a Destroyer now trying to chase it. I want to, like... If you do this against Happy, there's always a Fiend on patrol. He has web ready, but XlorD didn't do that because he was so scrapped for resources. He had to use all the Fiends in the fights. He was probably thinking that this is a possibility, as Chaemiko has displayed this before.
Actually, he's chasing the Zep.
Yeah.
Gonna force it to land somewhere. Back at the gold mine where XlorD is not anymore. What are you doing? That was obviously gonna happen.
Yeah, he had vision. That's for sure. Chaemiko is just creeping the rest of the map, but first and foremost, XlorD has to keep this haunted gold mine up. Chaemiko is putting up one challenge after the next, and XlorD can't really respond.
It's been a struggle.
He's holding.
XlorD this whole time. He's hanging in there. Actually, that's gonna feed him quite a bit of XP. Look at the DK, 4.6, Lich 4.2. Let's see if that changes.
Yeah, but Chaemiko is taking Marketplace and Red Spot. I think in comparison, XlorD pales now. And of course, the biggest item on the map. We have Chaemiko actually with Clap, no Bash, which is also an interesting choice. Could be working well against anti-magic later.
Yeah. Usually you still go Bolt a lot of the time. Even if you want to skill Clap. Your Clap is just, you get it in there not to have to retrain later, and that if you get level 5, you go Clap 3, for example. But here he wants to seem to try and rely on this. What is going on with this repeat auras? We're getting so many of them.
True. Not a big advantage, as the Archmage has that aura already, of course. XlorD, do you feel like he's stabilizing to a degree? Is that next fight the important one? Because if he's using the Banshees well and takes over the Knights, then he might have a chance, or is it all Chaemiko here?
Yeah, I mean, XlorD is in the world. He has he has 2 Fiends and 1 Abom.
Yeah,
he has 4 Banshees. That's his army. That's terrible right now.
1 Fiend and a Necro still in the base, but he's very, very afraid of another tank drop, which is not coming. So these units here, quite a waste.
His goal should be to make it to 80 because it's hard for the opponent to break, but actually in this game it's not going to be that hard because Chaemiko is already banking a lot.
Yeah.
So when he hits like 2k gold plus, Chaemiko could break into 100 and then still completely outmass XlorD. And all he has to do is counter the Banshees. Like his army is going to do the rest, especially with the attack upgrades that he's got. He's got +2 for flying machines and mortars, and he's going to have +2 in a second for Knights and Breakers. So his army is going to clean up. He's going to send back Curse. Knights are going to smash everything. All he has to do is just kill the Banshees with the mortars and send back Curse, and he's good.
He also has the 2 staffs ready, which I think is one of the most important things against Master Banshees. You need the Tri-Staff because that cancels possession. If there's a 4th possession, of course you're out of luck and you have to counter it somehow.
Or you bolt the Banshee.
You bolt the Banshee? Okay, then you need 5 Banshees. XlorD is not in a position to have 5 Banshees with enough mana to possess.
Chaemiko has so much lumber actually. He broke up keep into 88. He wants to completely outmass XlorD. That's going to be so much more supply. Goodness, he's almost going to be maxed out here.
Incredible comeback by Chaemiko. This game was from start to finish just his. A great run through the lower bracket thus far. But XlorD is not dead yet. And as long as there's Coil Nova on the field, you can never be sure of a victory.
XlorD retreating. I think he might have noticed that Chaemiko broke up keep, so then his goal should be to camp up until he gets to 80 himself. Then he's only going to be 20 supply behind. Which actually in army is less than that because he has only 5 acolytes against what should be like 20 peasants at least.
The fighting army, definitely. Okay, Chaemiko is chasing. He wants this real bad. Trying to go for the Lich immediately.
He should TP maybe. Trying to die for the mortars.
yep, one down, the second. Oh, actually, did he save both? Okay, but it's just a matter of time, I guess, until both of these mortars go down. But what's left of XlorD? Not much, to be honest.
Chaemiko waited so long to actually use the staff just before the possession was gonna go through. He's dealt really well with the Banshees so far. I don't see any more possession here. I think those Banshees might be out of mana for the most part. No Knight was stolen.
Yeah, used a lot of anti-magic, rightfully so, because the spells are so dangerous with Stormbolt, Clap, Holy Light, DK again, surrounded, oh no! It repeats, just as in the early game, and if the first hero's dead, you have not much of a chance against the human army that's at 80 supply and has a 1,000 gold bank. Chaemiko, man, how is this so different from their first series? It's been like, what, 3 hours? What changed in the meantime?
I don't know what he ate, but I want some of that. He's playing amazing here. Great start, got the surround, momentum the entire game, and now he's pushing into the undead base. He's not even worried anymore. Killed the Death Knight. Lich level 5 is gonna have to find the hole somehow. A lot of units are low, but he wasn't able to possess a single one of the knights. That's been the big problem here for XlorD.
The laboratory flare to see all the feeds, and that's GG! Chaemiko taking the first map off of XlorD and shows how good he really is against undead.
Yeah, that was sick. That's surround. You know, up again against a little corner. It didn't even look like it was possible, but he finds the right pathing, lands the important surround when he needs to get it. And that Death Knight not quite slippery enough. Even the tower save after that. I think maybe XlorD was a little flustered, because even attacking like this with one Fiend and just not having enough at the time just didn't work out at all for him.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, here we go with the highlights of this game. Good fights there already. This is where the Knights are out. This is where the damage was done. XlorD was trying his absolute best, and he's still fighting good. He's still controlling good, but the early game was just not his. And if the human is on 2 bases, he can do with you whatever he wants if you give him the time. And then Zeppelin drops that wasn't anticipated, did a lot of damage, got a lot of attraction. And damn, that was a hell of a revenge for Chaemiko, who is now one map away. But yeah, it's all about the early game, right? In this matchup, if you get the Expo up without much damage dealt to you, you spiral out of control on the other side. If the Undead is killing 3, 4, 5 Peasants and delays the Expo and gets the tower, which was so close as you mentioned, then it's the Undead's game. It's so much about the early game here.
The items are very important. Like, he got a ring, yes, but then he got a claw. So at least that was that, a little bit of extra damage. Then he bought another claw, then he was plus 10, and that's when he started just like slaying everything that was getting close to his expansion. So important to get some of these. Obviously, you can't control that, but then you can make the most of them. And yeah, great game one here by Chaemiko. Let's see if this guy here in the bottom left can bring it back here on Northern Isle. In the reds, playing for Mouse Sports, it's XlorD. Der Meister.
And in the upper right-hand side, aiming for that quarterfinal representing South Korea and Raptor Gaming, it's Chaemiko. Northern Isles, baby. Is it time, after the DK got defeated, to swap in another hero to go for the Beetle Boy?
It's looking like a Death Knight opener here yet again. By the look of things, XlorD still has faith in it. I think if you look at last game, the hero wasn't the problem. You know, it was the execution.
Well, the hero getting surrounded was the problem.
Yeah. But obviously could have happened with a Creep Lord as well.
True. He's very big. You can surround him. That's true.
But yeah, like, I think XlorD knows where his mistakes were, and sometimes you just can't get any momentum going. Like, everything's going against you. Little details here and there start adding up, and the game just completely spirals out of control. I think that's kind of what happens. He's going to want to look not to let that happen this time around with just another solid build and good execution. That's usually his memo.
100%. And for all the fans of the German Meister and for Maus, Tidehunters was Chaemiko's map. Northern Isles, historically, very good undead map. This is XlorD's pick in this series. And here, if Chaemiko goes for an expansion, there is a very, very good creep routes for the undead. We get level 2, get a couple of items, 6 skeletons, and then this harass needs to be defended masterfully.
Yeah, the Acolyte pull here on that camp to slow it down a little bit. They're both going to want to try and slow each other down. On the other side, we're going to see the Footman being a little bit pesky. attack those skeletons multiple times. Maybe even try and get the experience, because it's one of the harder maps to get level 3 here, right? You don't want to creep like 3 small camps, then the expo to get level 3.
Footman surrounded.
Yeah, actually that's... I asked Remo last time if he thought he was going to get surrounded. It certainly didn't. But this time around, Chaemiko, that feeds a bunch of experience. It wasn't even a coil needed as well, which is disastrous. If at least you force the coil, you're like, all right, at least I achieved a little bit. You know, I forced him to use a bit of mana, but here, not even.
Okay, Chaemiko slowed down a little bit, lost the Footman, XlorD with a little bit of extra XP compared to usual. But that also cost some time where he wasn't creeping. So I guess the Acolyte delay at the green spot was made up by that Footman surround, if you want to look for a silver lining there. But this is where the fun, quote-unquote, depending on what side you're on, really begins. Gather more skeletons, get another run of necromancy. You know that Chaemiko is expanding. Your time is coming.
They both found ring, and XlorD actually sold his, and wanted a little bit of extra gold boost. Oh god, not like this. Oh, this is terrible, actually.
It's a very tanky Archmage, which will not
You should go to
help
shop
him.
now. Go to shop now and sell this and get Circlet or something.
That's actually why the bottom position for human is slightly better, right? Because if you do that, the way to the marketplace is a lot closer.
Well, he has the merchant.
Yeah, okay, he can get a Circlet, but no claw, I guess.
Yeah.
And XlorD is there already, so that would be a big risk. Will he steal it or save the coil for the workers? He will save the coil.
This is the part where if I was streaming, I start singing, peasants! We're gonna kill some peasants. But actually right now, there's not many skellies. I think he might be waiting for the first fiend to get there. Which, when you're playing against Chaemiko, there's always some danger of that surround being attempted. Here we go. Let's start working on those peasants. Good defense so far. No deny on that first one. Not easy to get against that many skellies.
Will the tower come up is the question. We still have a lot of run of necromancy. XlorD can put on a lot of pressure here. This is the early game he likes and wants.
What's going on to the left of this here? I see like a bunch of movement. The footmen. What? Wait, what? They might have chased the fiend or something. Because I was like, where's the fiends the whole time? Now a fiend moves back in to help out. Oh, he puts it in the corner. Okay, that's not gonna get surrounded. There were not enough units anyway.
Both players are making this real weird already. This tower at 50%, and actually, this is not much damage to the economy, but to the tower it is. Needs some more focus fire. Chaemiko has to cancel, and that is floodgates open for more skeletons.
Yeah, you can expect Undead from there to always buy more Rod of Necromancy, keep attacking like this. Once Lich comes into play, there is Nova as well to worry about. Yeah. And Chaemiko right now is cursing the RNG gods for giving him double Ring of Protection, because that did absolutely nothing for him in that fight. He wasn't attacked once on his Archmage.
He's exchanging it now. He went to the market, get boots and staff for that. So lots of mobility, but mobility doesn't help your economy.
You know, one way I could like rings is if you could trade 2 rings for a clause +9. Then I would love ring. I would be like, yes, please give me all ring.
Your Archmage would probably do +45 damage.
Secret gold mine all this time. That's not actually on the siege here. Against the Archmage with boots. He does have an Holy Aura, so should be able to get out. On the other side, he's threatening us around on the Fiends, which have no aura. Careful, mate. As Ronnie would say, careful, mate.
But the Lich is there, and he can slow the rest down and put some real damage onto this Footman. He's splitting them to a degree, but yeah, the Lich is oftentimes where things are getting fun again after a little phase of stability for the human. Tier 2 tech started only now. Is that still okay, or is it too late?
It's late. It's like almost 3 AM in-game time. Like usually, the earliest is usually like 11 PM, and then 1 AM is still kind of okay, but 3 AM feels like it's kind of late. But the peasant count on lumber is also very important, and I think Chaemiko is doing all right in that. I think he has about 6 on lumber in the main, and he's already queuing a lot at the expo to work on his lumber economy.
Chaemiko was setting up a trap here, wanted to get that surround, the TP forced again. Even with illusions, can't do it. XlorD's moving with the DK, very, very safe. He is far away from the rest of your army. It doesn't creep this DK, which is definitely the downside of this movement at the moment. But the Fiends are safe. He could creep the Lich a little bit, and that is the Potion of Greater Mana.
Yeah, the best item by far. Unfortunately for XlorD, he's so far away from level 3. That would have been so much better if he was getting that earlier. Maybe he should actually send his Death Knight to creep here and pull back the Lich. Because if he was to get level 3 Death Knight with that greater mana, that would hurt so much during the actual attack.
Staff action onto a footman. Here we go. Creep jack time. DK is coming in, but he is still very hurt despite the unholy aura. Lich barely level 2, needs one more footman, but the statue's coming in for more regen. Chaemiko, nice micro, saves the footman to the south.
Yeah, Chaemiko might want to target the statue a little more here with the water plus Archmage. So far, it's just been the statue kind of chasing that down. The ring actually finally coming into place. The Archmage got targeted here a little bit. And behind this, defense just finishes. Keep's about to complete. Let's look at the lumber. Chaemiko has enough to start castle tech immediately, but then the mountain king will be delayed a little bit. And remember, in their first series, he had only one arcane tower in the main base. He got busted by the pit lord. So this time around, might want to be a little bit more careful. He actually goes for more towers. Look at how many towers there are in production.
2 upgrades already, plus 3 scout towers. That is a lot of resources, but it might be necessary. XlorD is muscling up. He wants a couple more levels. He probably wants a 3rd hero in this game, I would think.
If XlorD wants to do the push, I think, unless you want to do a destroy all-in push, which usually is not good against top players like Chaemiko, because they'll get enough flying machines and defend, you usually just want to grab a pit lords.
Yeah.
Because of Rain of Fire, he's so tanky as well. You just get in there, you Rain of Fire, it's so hard to repair. Peasant starts dying left and right, and then human doesn't have enough lumber to keep up with really anything. Even if you end up holding, you know, you wreck their economy bad enough that a Banshee transition can sometimes finish the game for you. So XlorD usually, when he does this, he'll go straight for the main base, even without scouting, but now he's headed for the expo.
That timing by Chaemiko, the push is about to start, and now XlorD has to make a decision. Do I push and try to break the base, or do I TP home? And he decides to keep his home base safe. Let's see if he repairs in time, because the damage is not too bad. There is no web, he does tons of damage, but how do you deal with this if you can't get rid of that Zeppelin?
Oh my god, he's gonna just evacuate.
Yeah, bye-bye.
This is so bad for XlorD now.
Yep.
Like, what is he supposed to do? Get web and leave one fin? Now he's still gonna... There's gonna be so much time that was bought here by Chaemiko. He could get a Garg. I guess Destroyer also can help out against this to kind of try and chase it away.
This was supposed to be the strongest push of XlorD of the entire game.
Yeah.
And he just defended it by attacking. That's so smart.
Best defense is the offense sometimes, apparently. XlorD is waiting until he's fully defended against this. Okay, careful not to lose that Zeppelin above the trees. My god.
Oh my god, that that would be game immediately. I mean, we have seen this before. Fortitude versus 1-0 comes to mind, but okay, Chaemiko not risking this here. At this levels, of course, you have to take some risks, but not like this. And okay, he's losing a footman here, he's losing a footman there. That's fine. Yeah, give that DK level 3. All good. The pit lord didn't throw a single rain of fire to the economy just yet.
XlorD's going for a temple now, so I think he realizes that his timing might have expired.
Yeah. There's a second temple. I bet first attack upgrade. No, it's a ziggurat. Okay. Tier 3 not started yet for Chaemiko, and things are still really, really late. Sanctums. Oh, there is, of course. Oh, sorry about that. That's finished. Whoopsie. But okay, still no knights in production. Pally coming now. There might still be some time.
How there was the plan here exactly for XlorD? Because he's kind of stuck in middle of both strategies, you know, where like one you go pit lord and you siege, the other one you go for banshees. He's just trying to adapt to the situation best he can, but Chaemiko's anticipating everything perfectly here. That counter-attack was brilliant. Behind this, he already has Sanctum to go for breakers, counter banshees, which he knows are most likely going to be there because the timing just wasn't attacking him on time. Magic Sentry?
Okay.
What?
Well,
Afraid of shades?
maybe, yeah.
He wants to have a couple revelations, probably. Like, he has 3
Again.
Arcane Towers, so there's going to be 3 revelations with a cooldown that come back, so worth it. Like, you scan the main base, you see if there are temples, how many, you can kind of assess how you have to play from there.
Greater mana for the Mountain King as well, who's level 2 now. We still have the red spots left open, and that can be game-deciding items. The Lich for XlorD once again, a beast. Also the DK, big mana and Pendant of Energy. Can't complain about that. And now is finally time, but oh my god, that was the quickest reaction. With a blink of an eye, pulls the town portal. XlorD didn't even see the army yet, did he?
Yeah, that was almost like a fake. I don't think he necessarily wanted to fight immediately here at Chaemiko. He just wanted to make sure he can bolt the pit lord so he doesn't lose too many peasants.
player's forces are.
And I love that XlorD reacted this way, just pulled back immediately, went for the red camp, which Chaemiko is very well aware right now that XlorD will creep this and then re-attack his expo shortly after. So he's moving across the map to try and get some more camps himself because he needs experience. He needs to get Mountain King 3, maybe Pala closer to 3 as well if he can. And needs to work on his supply count here, get to 80 as soon as possible so he can fight even better.
Oh, brother. Plus 28 damage Lich, and he's not even level 4 yet, where he gets 4 extra intelligence, as we all know. Yeah, he's hitting hard, and he's also like 555 mana on level 3. It's already cold on Northern Isles, but man, that Lich's gonna throw a lot of Nova.
Q Peasant Song. Kill a few more of them. Banshee Master Training. This is not even a real attack here by XlorD. He's just trying to weaken the economy of Chaemiko and also bring him back in that position. No. No, you're not. He's getting a cannon tower at the back of the main base. Chaemiko, you madman.
God, this is such an old school play. Chaemiko did this, what was it, 3 to 4 years ago against 1-2-0, and you have to pay so much attention to this. What do? You can't try to attack with destroyers, but what's really doing damage against that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take 6 years to get rid of it.
Oh my god, that he brings back this play. I can't believe it, but if not in this tournament, when do you ever bring it back?
I mean, it's only the qualifying match, no biggie.
No biggie? There's $5,000 on the line.
That was sarcasm, dog.
Ah.
I know you.
I'm just explaining for the casual Twitch chat, you know?
All right, where is that Rain of Fire?
There we go. He might be in range, though. It's double arcane, burning quite some damage, some mana.
The tower. Is it like almost ready?
It's happening.
Oh my goodness.
He's getting vision with the zap, and that will be quite a nice surprise.
Was ist das?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Okay, the Echo here is wrecked as well, though.
Oh, Medallion of Courage, great item here.
And here we go. Does he? Can he reach? Yes, he's attacking the Banshee right away.
Yeah, but there's repair.
And yeah, this tower has fortified armor. And what do? Like siege damage, fortified armor. With what do you want to attack this?
He doesn't even have frag shards either. Because frag shards work on cannon towers now.
He TP's home. Can he get some fiend shots in? Okay, that
Look at the gold mine, the damage!
Sick, right?
He TP'd for that.
Yeah, what else?
Amazing.
What else is he supposed to do if you attack it with destroyers? You're still attacking Sunday morning.
And Chaemiko's taking one more base in the bottom right. He's like, okay, this guy's going to be so busy with that one tower. There's barely any creeps left. Really anywhere. Actually, a nighttime was forgot down there. The ring of protection in bottom right feels bad, man.
300 IQ play by Chaemiko. That opened up the map big time. Now he could reach, but he forces XlorD into a meat wagon. That is army you really don't want to have.
Yeah. Maybe he's worried about like tanks down the line or something coming into play. I guess casters, it can help. And also you can have Disease Cloud on that, right? And then you don't even have to make an A-bomb. It's gonna help out, so. Not the worst, you know, like if you had overcommitted to say like 3, okay, but 1 is actually all right. Chaemiko's supply actually not that amazing, and that's because XlorD's harassment was really good, and also because he's taking a very greedy third here. This is super risky. Yeah. Sometimes this is how you throw games. Like he should be rushing 80 supply, then taking a third base, but instead he went for the third base very early. So that's like a gamble by Chaemiko here to take this.
So far...
Oh my god, XlorD's gonna scout it. I see something red. XlorD is so good at scouting with ghouls. Like he always has a sixth sense to see it, and he's gonna see it.
Yeah, he was probably thinking like, why do you want to delay me? What are you trying to do? What do you need so much time for that you invest a Zeppelin, a worker, a tower that is not really that cheap, the cannon tower. Good game sense by XlorD, but Chaemiko did a great job this game and also the one before to buy time. If he needs time, he finds a way to buy time. That's his biggest strength in this series for sure. Let's see if we can get that expo up. The pit lord is coming, the ghouls are coming.
Wait, TP's for that.
Okay, it's really important for him to get that.
What, that means no TP as an escape? He left the paladin in the top left?
Woo.
Oh my god, XlorD's gonna see it. No, the Banshee's not like this.
Did he see
this
it?
paladin is stuck behind enemy lines. Even if he buys a Zeppelin... Wait, actually XlorD didn't see it?
Yeah, XlorD wants to go for the expansion, for the economy, I guess.
This game is mad.
Oh my god, this is what we want from the winner bracket semifinal. We're just saving it for the last series of the day to end day 1 with a bang for Group B. Now we got level 4. This Lich is just a monster.
Yeah, there's a Town Portal on the DK. He might just snipe the base and then TP out and then be set up for the defense.
Get double pendant of energy. Okay, he snipes that one. How fast can he kill the Town Hall? There's very little repair. XlorD knows. Here we go. Town Portal home. And then we have a fight. But no, Chaemiko retreats already.
I think he's worried about losing his Town Portal. Wait, actually, no, he does not. He didn't rebuy a Town Portal.
Oh.
No. He's running to the shop in center. So he's going to buy Town Portal, staff to his army, and then he'll have Town Portal to get out. But if he has to get out, it's disastrous. The Archmage, you cannot get caught here. He's slower because there's an only Ori level 2.
Lich is not in range. The Boots of Speed, he sold it again. Can he reach? Here we go. Coil Nova. Destro gives a little bit more vision. Can he get the statue up front? Paladin to the rescue. No, TP.
Yeah, but that's really bad. Like, he didn't do much damage. I think he was able to catch 1 or 2 units that he killed. Chaemiko on 77 supply. And now XlorD knows he can attack the base in the bottom right immediately and force another fight that Chaemiko probably doesn't want to take just yet. Even though he's got great upgrades now. He's got 1/1 on the Knights. And he has +1 attack for the Mortars. Does he have enough Mortars yet? I don't think so. He's only starting to add them like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, wait. Is that the first 2? Oh my god, he's queued 4 Mortars, but he doesn't have them. Don't fight. Okay, no, he has 1 with his army.
Oh.
Chaemiko, you cannot take this fight. You're gonna get all your Knights stolen.
We have anti-magic. Here's the first one, of course. If you get possessed, you can't move.
Oh my god.
Last second. Man, their Warcraft IQ is so high in this game, and also the execution pretty much perfect.
That was the sickest dodge. That was actually the sickest dodge. I know your nickname is Neo, but he's the real Neo.
He's dodging the bullets. I give that nickname to him any day of the week.
Agent Benchy Smith's bullets.
Still, Chaemiko seems to be in a little bit of trouble. Has to stall some time. Has to wait for more mortar teams and more knights. He's maxing out at 80. He's even breaking up him into 90. And now XlorD somewhat has to follow.
I think XlorD missed his timing here. He didn't realize that there was no Mortars. If he had actually attacked, he would have forced a really bad fight out of Chaemiko instead of trying to get closer to 80 supply, but that's a mistake. He's giving him time to get enough Mortars to really counter this army very well.
Does XlorD still have this wagon, or did he somewhat kill or lose it? Ah, it's coming now. And that's a siege with wagons, with ideally Disease Cloud, which is then once again great for pretty much everything. If you can zone it out. Like in this position, you can set basically your wall of disease. The human has to walk through it. It's good damage over time. But of course, Chaemiko is still mining from 2 bases.
He's confident enough to move out now, that he's got 90 supplied, that many Mortars as well. It's only the single staff, so there is a chance, like, let's say 3 Knights get stolen. That would be pretty bad for Chaemiko here.
This little needle hole could be a perfect position for XlorD. Mountain King comes in with the clap. The Banshees are getting attacked by frag shards. Rain of Fire, of course, a nice solution for this. There's no heal scroll. Lich is getting close as well. That Nova hits so hard.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to steal any Knights, though. That was a really nice snipe on one of the Banshee. The other Knight was staffed on time. XlorD trying to force Chaemiko into a choke. And that clap landing. He turns around. He's wearing this army down here. A lot of hit points going lower and lower thanks to Disease Cloud as well.
Man, the Mortars are still so sick, though. What's this fight? Where's it gonna end? It's XlorD's tournament life on the line. If he loses this fight, he's out of DreamHack. From the winner bracket to elimination in just 4 maps. That's how quick it can go on this very level. Pitlord level 4.
Oof. That's scary here. Gonna have Rain of Fire level 2, Cleave level 2 as well. Really been making the most of that Rain of Fire as well on Mortars. Snipes 1 more Mortar.
Nice.
Once you run out of Mortars, that's really dangerous against Banshees, but I see only 1 Banshee here with not that much mana actually inside of this army.
And Chaemiko is taking damage every single second, while XlorD is healing every single second, thanks to Unholy Aura, of course.
If XlorD mines out eventually, he can just expand and be 1 expand against 1 expand there, actually. That would not be too bad. So he might just steal around here and just keep Coinovaing everything to reduce the mortar count up until he replenishes his own Banshee count. And then finally, it's all about... You only need 1 good fight where you steal Knights, and then you're going to be doing great. Like, you're going to be the one ahead in supply, even though right now he's only 5 supply behind.
XlorD's Lich is such a beast. He has all the skills he needs. Would love to have level 3 Nova, of course, but Frost Armor is there against Knights. He can eat his own units to deny XP and get more mana back. With right clicks, he hits like a truck. Pitlord also looks good. This DK inventory is a dream. He was able to catch up almost 20 supply with one fight, thanks to that needle hole. It's not easy to engage, but if you bait Chaemiko into that fight, it's all yours.
No, XlorD is a master of engagements, like knowing when to go back, where to put you in like a bad position. He'll always have like his Pitlord perfectly at the front. I've had so many games against him where it felt like I was doing fine, and then suddenly, you know, he's like on Last Refuge. He stands at one of the high ground expansions and he waits for you to attack into him. And if you do, it's pretty bad. He has the Pitlord at the front, cleaving everything. He coils perfectly. He moves his units back perfectly for the statues to keep everything alive and the Unholy Aura. But in this game, he's being outmassed. There is a far superior or bigger army here from Chaemiko, who just hasn't been able to properly get his hands on that undead army just yet, but he's going to look for that fight here near the center. XlorD starts the Haunted Gold Mine in the top left-hand side. That's because he doesn't have much gold left in the main. He has less than 1,000, so he wants to have that up immediately as his Acolytes won't be active anymore in a minute.
Was that scouted? I saw a reveal at the bottom right. So Chaemiko, if he didn't scout the upper left, he might be thinking that XlorD is muscling up for one more big attack.
Yeah.
And that could be a wrong read.
Anti-magic going to be used on all of the units, or almost all of them. Not quite on the DK yet. He definitely need that on the Death Knight. That Death Knight, by the way, double mana pendant and greater mana. So if he drops both of those and use that, that's going to be quite a bit of mana replenished.
Yeah,
potentially mid-fight.
It's kind of decent.
Look at this. A bomb perfectly at the front to disease cloud everything. Mountain King goes deep, but the clap doesn't actually hit much. The Death Knight is getting targeted. He can't lose that. Mountain King was too far at the front. He gets targeted immediately. He's going to go down without Holy Lights actually being effective. There was also staff up, but now this army of the undead is cornered. XlorD might try and kill as much as possible before tipping out.
This DK must survive. He has a TP. This must be the #1 priority. Damage and killing is always good, but keep your heroes up. Chaemiko doing quite some damage to your kills of the Fiend.
Oh my god.
Not even called to arms, just peasants.
He'd expired by now, but yeah, that's so funny to see them there.
But that was also time for XlorD expansion. And by now, Chaemiko should know what's up. Oh, Gyro.
Yeah, XlorD is transferring Acolytes from the main because he's almost completely mined out. So that was actually the perfect timing that he started the Haunted Gold Mine at when he had about 1,000 left. Because now his main base has 10. It's going to unsummon and he's going to have a brand new gold mine that he's mining from.
And Chaemiko's main is, of course, also empty at the same time. And a fight is brewing. Is this the right time for XlorD? He's 10 supply down, but the Mountain King is still benched for 100 seconds. DK hurt. Holy Light could hurt very, very well. He's just using his spells here. Rain of Fire. But this time, there's no TP. There was just a heal scroll. And he used that immediately. XlorD's got to be careful. Level 5 DK, though.
Yeah, Christmas came early in this game here for XlorD, who's seeing, he's like, well, you don't have Mountain King? I need to fight now. I don't even care that my Death Knight has mid hit points. I need to fight. There's no bolt. There's no clap. You don't have crowd control. I can just go in as I please, kill whatever I want, and that's exactly what he does. Everything's in the red now for Chaemiko, he hasn't been able to grab a second staff the entire game. That's been something that's really held him back the whole time.
100% agree. He was never really in his base, right? He was never close to a shop. And now things are real tricky. XlorD pushing forward. This Pitlord has, of course, cleave, does good right-click damage. That Lich has Nova for decades. And the peasants will feel that.
Did that ghoul at 12 o'clock kill all of the buildings that were at that expo? I think so.
Yep, he's a very busy guy. Hard-working man. Or woman,
That's
we
ridiculous.
don't know.
That's actually ridiculous. A Knight in the top left. Okay, actually, when you do that, it's great to kill Acolytes, but then a single Banshee can go there and possess that Knight, which would be pretty bad. A Banshee's headed there. It's in the center. Oh my god, no.
XlorD is pulling... Oh, there we go.
Hunter-Seeker Missile!
Didn't see it yet, though. But XlorD is pulling Chaemiko apart. There's another expansion at the 6 o'clock. While he's taking out Chaemiko's expansion, XlorD is getting closer and closer to the Equalizer.
XlorD, yeah, took the other expo, actually. Why not? I mean, at this point, he's denying that expansion of Chaemiko down there, who's waiting for the Mountain King to come back out. There it is. Is that Knight going to be stuck in his main base? It might be. Oh no, on the left-hand side.
Chaemiko has no income anymore. XlorD has statues, has very, very powerful spells. What is Chaemiko supposed to do to kill 2 bases at the same time against these heroes in this army?
Chaemiko needs to kill the DK. Like, there is no way around it. He needs to kill the Death Knight, I think. That would be the one way he can win here. But the Death Knight has 925 hit points. He should have anti-magic shell before the fight begins, and invuln can be transferred. And he should have frost armor. Because of course there's frost armor here.
Yeah.
Every top undead love the frost armor, and they're so good with it.
There we go. Level 5 on the Pit Lord. Level 3 Cleave is 90% AoE. And this might be Chaemiko on his last lag. XlorD just gotta be careful to not lose too much, to kite, to disengage when he feels like things are getting dicey. Mountain King has almost thrown all his mana already. Never got it to level 4. In general, the progression for Chaemiko was basically not there. Rain of Fire into the backline once again. And here is the focus fire on the Mountain King, which is of course the biggest threat. Invo Potion transferred, but that exposes all the other heroes from Chaemiko. Knights are falling. XlorD not even trying to possess them, if I saw this correctly. A-Bomb has the big tank at the front, catches the coil, and the heroes are all at 50%. It's just a matter of time until one of them is falling.
Yeah, Mountain King still getting chased. Death Knight level 5 is so scary there. The Paladin's gonna be next on that list. He doesn't have Divine Shield because he went for Devotion, so he's actually gonna go down. Lich under siege. In the meantime, Chaemiko's running out of units, but so is XlorD.
Yeah, but XlorD has 2 or 1 bases, excuse me. One of them was actually destroyed, but he has income from the bottom, and Chaemiko is just plummeting in supply. Can he reach for another Coil Nova? Mana seems to be scarce, but he's picking up one unit after another. And once again, the immobility of a human army, if you're up against Unholy Aura, is just killing you at some point. GG! We go full distance at the last set of the day. The Lord is back.
The Meister.
The Rekordmeister.
Is it the Meister or der Meister? I feel like I asked you before, but then I forgot.
It's der Meister or die Meisterin?
Okay, der Meister.
Chaemiko is the second guessing himself. This game looked pretty okay actually for a long time. There was a lot of challenges for XlorD that he has to or had to overcome, but all the years of experience for XlorD here. This push was genius by Chaemiko, stopping XlorD's push in his track. Also the Forest Town portal thanks to the cannon tower later, but it just wasn't enough.
I can't believe he lost that with how good he was doing the entire game.
Yeah.
This did so much as well. Like, he killed a Banshee right off the bat. I think that extra expo was unnecessary, but on this map sometimes you feel pressure to take one more expo because your main and your expo might out about the same time if you take fast expansion. So then you're just left with no gold and you can't do anything. Honestly, props to XlorD though, because he scouted it immediately and then he knew. He was like, okay, I need to feel urgency now. I'm gonna pressure your expo. He broke into it, he destroyed it entirely. That MVP ghoul killed literally all farms that were there as well. And then he pushed in the bottom right and was able to get a really good fight somehow, even though he was like up against 90 supply of Chaemiko.
This was a long day and a long series, so we give these two competitors a little time to breathe. After a tiny little break, we'll conclude day 1 with a decision who's advancing, XlorD or Chaemiko. We're approaching hour 10 of the broadcast, day 1 of the DreamHack Finals. We have one more decision to make. Is it XlorD? Is it Chaemiko? Is it human? Is it undead? Who's gonna go into the quarterfinals on Saturday? Germany or Korea? Our last
about
map.
to find out, Neo.
We're about to find out, Todd. Indeed, and our map for this to conclude this is Concealed Hill on the upper right-hand side, winning map 1, but then stumbling on Northern Isles for Korea and Raptor Gaming is Chaemiko.
His opponents in the red, representing Germany and Mouse Sports, it's XlorD.
He's ready, he's willing, and on map 2 he definitely was able to take the victory over Chaemiko. Today between them, 3-1 in maps. XlorD took the first series, but this time it's all a little different. The first series was a stomp, and this is a neck-and-neck fight. Very, very hard to predict who is going to be the winner of this one. Concealed Hill, very hard expo. Is that the big opening for XlorD? To go with the DK once again to arrest the expo and do as much damage as possible?
Yeah, maybe. We haven't really seen a game where he was able to open with like really a lot of peasant kills so far, so maybe that would be the one. And yeah, he's not switching things up at all. He's still going for the same build here with the Death Knights and Chaemiko on the other side. You're supposed to expand. It'd be kind of wild if he were to try some sort of one base, even though we've seen him play wild builds in the past, sometimes some mount tanking, some one base, even against Orc, where he goes like double Aviary and Griffins and stuff. I just think against Undead, it'd be a lot less viable. So you just kind of have to expo, which XlorD, being fully aware of, has a real opportunity to try and score some big peasant snipes.
On map 1, there was a little bit of a gift by XlorD to Chaemiko with the town portal. On map 2, there was a little bit of a gift by Chaemiko to XlorD with that footman. Maybe we see each other on even footing now. But yeah, that mass air strategy, we've seen it a lot.
I know it's Christmas, Neo, but no more gifts.
No more gifts, right?
Oh no, he's getting the peasant bug. Look, that peasant's on follow behind here. Right above this.
Whoopsie. But anyway.
Oh no, not again.
This starts with a ring. Oh my god.
You know, this was a big part of what made it also like have him, just have a difficult start, right?
Yeah.
Because against the initial defense, you just want to have extra damage. A ring does nothing for you. That's the thing.
Not initially, until the later stages, for sure, when it's a little bit about survivability and XlorD gets that claw.
Yeah, even then, because like it's a lot about the Coil Nova that threatens your MK, like the actual physical damage. It's not like your MK is gonna stand there and get attacked.
Yeah,
and all, like the,
but you know, yeah, it kind of counters the Orb of Corruption later, and then it helps, but of course that a lot of things about the game are already decided then, so yeah, claws and circuit in the early game definitely help you more than the ring helps you later.
Wait, is he going? Oh my god.
Circlet?
No, but Chaemiko's gonna go during day. He's gonna get poisoned so much.
Oh, that's not good. And the DK is a powerhouse. He can do tons of damage. Will the game be decided here already? We get the DK level 2. He gets the Water Elemental as well. That's big experience. And he has 2 coils to work with over the course of this harass. If he gets this Oversteer, the game is basically over.
Okay, DK is 2.3, Archmage 2.7 here. Peasants gonna get chased for a little bit. He should be sending a new wave of militia here in a second if he has enough peasants on lumber, which he does. That injured one in the main should definitely be swapped into the gold here. But there's gonna be one more peasant going down. And behind this, XlorD is gonna have his first fiends showing up in a moment. He didn't quite go for backpack, which maybe would have helped for sure to bring the second rod of necromancy, but maybe he just wants to harass with the one more charge and then head home to go and harass again.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a disaster for Chaemiko.
It's a disaster.
It's right? Like, the DK is still hanging around.
Well, not yet. Yeah, he lost a couple peasants.
And time. Like, isn't this all about time and the expo timing and when you're able to...
I mean, you want to see a disaster, I'll show you a disaster if you want, like one of my games.
Send me your replays.
I've seen disasters and they don't look so much like that.
Oh.
They look worse.
Can he get that kill from downtown? Chaemiko is playing nicely around it, though. XlorD, is he willing to commit
with the fiend shot? Oh, the Archmage got it.
Oh, my.
That's terrible for XlorD, actually, because he overcommitted here. He went for the coil, he went for the fiend shot. He slightly miscalculated. I think that must have been like 1 hit points left or something on that. And now he lost his entire HP bar on the DK.
Yep.
The counter-attack is going to be so scary.
He can go for a Ritual Dagger. XlorD tech, of course, finished already. Parry up also another tank item, which is really not that great. But yeah, Chaemiko, known for his counterattacks against Undead. By now, he's displayed this on 6 out of 7 maps, I think, against Undead. Can XlorD hold? Like, these Acolytes. If I'm an Acolyte now, I'd be really scared.
Players' forces are under attack.
Yeah, I mean, his tech was almost done, so it's not so bad even now if he loses like some Acolytes. It's going to be annoying to deal with because he can't really mine lumber with the ghouls. They have to help and fight. Losing a ghoul will be a disaster. And there's not even really enough firepower because the fiends were zoned out on the right-hand side to actually kill the footmen. So Chaemiko even evacuated with some footmen that he sent to the fountain. XlorD's not macroing his acolytes here. That's quite bad.
He did that really well in the previous games, but also this is time where you can't really build the slaughterhouse. This delays statues, this delays your healing and your regen.
He could have forced TP on the Archmage. He didn't target that.
Ooh,
Oh my
XlorD.
god.
Are you getting tired? It's getting late here in Stockholm. Couple of mistakes, I guess, and this push was a lot better than it was ever supposed to be.
Yeah, Chaemiko evacuated with so many low HP units here. The Archmage is going to go to the right-hand side fountain where he's going to heal safely.
He missed that beat for sure.
But the tech hasn't started. Oh, Chaemiko, wait, he missed macros. He has almost no lumber on peasants in the main base. He has 3, 4, and in the expo he has 6 on gold.
Oh
No.
boy, yeah, it's been a long day, everybody. And now we'll see who has the better endurance between these two.
If you had macroed correctly, it would be such a good spot now, because tech would already be on the way. You would have way more peasants on lumber.
There's the tech now. But for XlorD, there's no tier 3 tech yet, so it's not that bad. But of course, the push is still going to be brutal.
Remember the 3 AM tech was late. It was 4:30 AM now in game time when he teched. Such a late tech.
It's pretty late, yes, that is true.
But he did slow down XlorD a little bit, so at least that's that.
Okay, here comes the first Lich push. But the Arcane is obviously up for a while. We want to keep the heroes out of range of that and do damage with the Skeletons and the Fiends. What can the Archmage do in the meantime? Is he forced into a defense, or can he hold this with Footy's Militia alone? No, Archmage is coming back.
It has to here to help out against this. Death Knight 2.9, just maybe one more peasant would do it here and he'd be level 3, and the Archmage is going to be in real danger here. There is no shop.
Lining
He's
up.
making it.
Coil Nova just waiting for it. Lich is hungry again with that claws in the circlet.
You think the Archmage is going to die, Neo?
I don't think so. There's a staff. Chaemiko should be able to calculate this correctly.
A player's forces
He's buying
are
quite
under
some
attack.
time that XlorD can't really put into damage on the expansion. So there's a silver lining for this.
Yeah, defend on the way. In the meantime, surprised XlorD is not turning around a little bit earlier here to try and damage Footmen, because there's no access to fountains. And he needs literally just one single Footman snipe and he would have DK level 3 here.
Okay.
Honestly, he's missing so little XP, I feel like a critter should give him level 3.
Yeah, we should be able to farm critters. That's a good idea. Also the mechanical ones from the human shop, right? So you
Thought
just
you were
spawn them
vegan.
in your base and kill them and get XP.
Whoa, he lost the feed!
Whoa.
XlorD.
Coil Nova now, though, this is at least, it should be a TP, but he just lets him go.
Some big mistakes in this game. Chaemiko diving for that gold mine again because he sees the tier 3 tech. He's thinking about staffing to the back right now for sure, but his Archmage has no hit points.
Yeah, he's so hurt. He's just getting coiled and then that's it. DK level 3, finally. And yeah, pesky Footman. Chaemiko really makes the most use out of them. And
He's
he is
going for it.
stepping in.
There's a coil.
Ooh.
He can't get. Can he get close enough?
Wait. This is walled off. Yep.
Oh my god. He actually dodges it. The madman. Wait, that Acolyte was stuck, so he loses another Acolyte. It's 4 out of 5.
Oh man. And tech is not finished yet. Still takes around 10 seconds, I guess. Chaemiko goes to castle.
Yeah,
This game.
And he started the mount tanking early this time around as well.
Yeah. I feel like the rest of the series was who makes the first big mistake is going to die. I feel this map is who makes the least mistakes is going to win.
It's been very convincing by Chaemiko in that game for sure here. So far, good pressure. One of the trickier maps to expand on, you know, like a lot of humans have died while just creeping the expo. Wait, he left the item?
Oh no, Scroll
XlorD.
Beast on the ground.
Are you kidding me?
Mistakes are piling up. We've seen this before from some players, but yeah.
He's pulling the center camp actually to creep it.
Okay. I mean, there's not too much Chaemiko can do about it now. Especially with Coil Nova locked and loaded. Archmage shouldn't be able to steal this at
Wait.
all. That would be crazy.
Is he gonna grab a Pit Lord and push? There's a Sanctum again, so Chaemiko's not going for the double racks, double workshop. Instead, just one Sanctum, and he added the one workshop because he didn't have enough lumber for the other one just yet.
But Chaemiko's pushing again, XlorD. He can't really push when Chaemiko is constantly in his face. Chaemiko is mining and mining and mining and mining. He's not even replacing the Footman really that he's losing. So that's a real good bang. Mountain King couldn't really do too much, but the amount of pressure is absurd.
That one water on the left-hand side is in denial. He's trying to go through a little gap.
I'm fitting.
That's me trying to wear my old jeans.
Yeah. This is a weird game that you don't really see too often that way. Chaemiko is trying to stall time for Castle and his real production.
Yeah, it's on the left.
It's still there. The Scroll of the Beast.
A player's forces are under
Cloak of
attack.
Flames was sold immediately, so I think the chance for a pit lord are not that high.
Oh my god, no.
No! What
Not like this.
You
You dropped the
said,
staff for it.
you said Christmas is over.
Oh my goodness.
You liar.
XlorD dressed as a Santa. Ho ho ho. Squad of the Beast for you. You've been a good boy.
Oh, I don't know, man. Lots of casualties thanks to Chaemiko. I don't know if that counts as being a good boy. But yeah, he got his game under control a lot faster. XlorD, I hope he's not questioning himself now and is doubting himself now. He needs to shrug this off. This was anything but a flawless game. But he still has every chance to bring it back because the heroes for Chaemiko are also pretty low.
Yeah, for now. He's gonna do a good job starting to level them. As the Paladin's about to come out here. Archmage close to 4, big level as well to get. And the scouting here with the Flying Machine from Chaemiko, really keeping tabs on XlorD, knowing where he's at. That makes it very safe for him to go on his side of the map on the other side and creep very, very well as much as he wants to. It looks like this might go in the same direction as what we saw on Northerite here from XlorD.
It's crazy.
Which, I mean, that was a marathon of a game
Oh,
for him
yeah.
to be able to win.
I'm in for more minutes, man. Give me plus 20, give me 30 minutes. I don't
Player's
care.
forces
More
are
Warcraft
under
is
attack.
almost always.
Would you
more
like a
good.
draw so we can get an...
Yeah,
another game
give me map 4. I'm fine. Still
Draws
need
are
that.
so rare, honestly.
They do happen though. I feel like XlorD is consolidating a bit. Like, these items were pretty good. He was able to steal the lab from his opponent. He's getting necessary upgrades. He's getting the levels. This is all a few feel-good moments.
Very nice pull against the Drake. Definitely should move back out with the Archmage as to not soak all the experience here.
Oh, Todd, you look at the bottom right.
What?
Triple Griffin here.
After going for...
Player's forces are under attack.
That's actually really sick.
There is.
Wait, what? Where's there a wagon? But he thinks there's going to be tanks.
Oh my god.
Unless he wants to go Necromancers. Because there's
No
the
way.
temple, but I don't think so.
No, it's a
I think he
fancy-
thinks, yeah, I think he thinks there's going to be tanks and he wants to go for Banshees. Did he cancel? Wait, or did it finish?
What is this?
No, it finished. Oh, no.
It feels like both
This is-
players are, I don't know, a little nervous.
This is the worst unit you could ever make against Triple Aviary.
Yeah, except if you really want to push, but that's not the case here.
Even then. Like
Zeppelin play again. And XlorD, does he have a TP? Yes, he does.
This is a wild series.
Oh, yeah.
The Triple Aviary is so well tucked in into the Expo as well. It's like blending in, you know?
Oh, the Fiends. Can they see the zap? Can they reach? This time XlorD is way better prepared. The ghouls are in time. He saw it. The gyro. Oh, the trick. No! Chaemiko. That was a beautiful play. Sends the gyros into the web. Ends up on the Fiend. But okay, XlorD portals in. This is everything Chaemiko wanted. That is web on autocast for you, everybody.
Well, the way it's supposed to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, that's easily counterable. The AI isn't
Yeah.
as smart. Just grabs whatever's flying in first. There was a gyro, not the zap.
Chaemiko probably saw this mid-wagon and is like laughing to himself. It's like, does this guy... He's like, I'm about to end this man's career. Over there with the Triple Aviary Griffins.
There's a crystal ball on XlorD. I wonder if he scouted.
You know what's crazy is that he already has a workshop. Let's say XlorD was to do a Lucael transition here into Gargoyles. Like, it would be such an easy transition
On one
for
base?
Chaemiko.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, on one base you can't go mass guards. You can't
Player's
just support
forces
that.
are under attack.
At least he went into Banshees immediately, like earlier already, so he got that. He got Possession, he got lots of mana, he got lots of anti-magic shield. But he needs Fiends. He needs a lot of Fiends.
The problem is that he's going to get out-upgraded. Like, there should be +3 attack very quickly for the Griffins. And there is already a counter to Banshees and Curse in the breaker that
True.
he got, which actually, wait, how many is that?
I don't think he has too many. No, he didn't commit to them too hard. But they can't be sniped. They have a lot of value. Even
wonder
in
if-
low numbers.
He might retrain, actually, because if you have Clap Blizzards and Griffins, AMS suddenly is dispellable. That's the one thing that dispels AMS in the game.
Tiny bits of XP. Still would say that XlorD, with his back against the ropes, the Griffins are powerful, Expo looking good, heroes are looking better and better. Lich got level 4, is not as much of a big birder than he was before on Northern Isles.
Ooh, can he get MK3 here? That'd be a big level. Clap level 2, surely. I mean, if he went for it last game,
Yeah.
he's definitely going to go for it this one.
I agree.
Gigantic power level. I would like to see him retrain, I think, against the full ground army.
Did he finally scout this? He's going Carapace upgrades, he's going more Fiends.
I think retrain and give the Rune Bracer to the Archmage. I asked Hawk why, when he goes for air, he didn't retrain when he plays against Happy, because Happy always counters with Fiends and Banshees, and he said, if you Blizzard Happy, you're going to lose your Archmage.
Player's forces
And I was like, you got a good point. Actually.
Yeah, it is a good point. No staff yet, no Orb of Fire. That's also a little risky. But man, Chaemiko's army is scary. 20 supply lead. Is he about to close this out? Is he willing to be aggressive when he doesn't have to?
I feel like sometimes Chaemiko breaks upkeep a little early.
Yeah, essentially the economy for both is the same now, despite having 2 bases.
That might have been the case on Northern Isle earlier.
Yeah, for a long time.
He lost so much gold over this. And XlorD is so good at reading the game as well. Like right now, he knows that he doesn't have enough, so he pulls back home. He waits until the last second. He had statue on mana. Look at those Banshees. They got like so much mana now to work with. So he's going to be able to have AMS. Could go for possession if there was a knight, which there isn't.
Yeah, there's nothing to possess, really. That's the way to counter it, I guess. But AMS, he has to spam AMS. Very good scouting by Chaemiko, who sees the counter expansion right away, shuts it down in seconds.
Dude, Chaemiko has 97 supply.
Yep, that's a lot of supply. Doesn't lie, though.
Usually not with these upgrades. He's about to have +3 attack here as they engage.
Do you really want to engage here already? Clap comes in. This might be the
That's level
last
3.
fight of the tournament. That is level 3 indeed. Clap level 2. Have fun with that. Potion use, Stormbolt throw. The Griffins just seem totally overwhelming for XlorD. What's the way out for the German if there is one?
He went for Bolt level 2, I think maybe because he thought he could get the Death Knight here, but that was wrong. But there's just so much army, the statue.
Melt. Just melting in seconds. The AMS is helping a little bit, but the Fiend's numbers drastically go down. He's webbing quite a bit, and the focus fire is good, but no pressure on the hero. Chaemiko evacuating. This was a lot of lost supply, actually. Another nuke, another kill. And this went, I guess, a bit better for XlorD than expected.
Yeah. Like with Chaemiko's supply, you would expect him to just completely ace this fight, but XlorD just spread out his army really well. I think going for Bolt 2 was a mistake for sure. He just started doing a lot of damage to the DKs. He just almost like got too excited. He's like, I can kill that guy. No, you couldn't, because AMS was there behind. There was a potion. Clap level 2 would have been more helpful for sure to remove AMS and let the Griffins kind of do their thing.
Chaemiko is once again going for Barrage. He did that against Lucy already. But that doesn't make that much sense against XlorD's army. Like
I think it's just in case there is a Garg transition, because then Dragonhawks don't counter that so well. So then you would just mix in a lot of siege engines.
Yeah, but how do you want to go mass Gargs without a second crypt? And what do you want to do there? There's no Dreadlord. There's no levels on...
I mean, he doesn't know that there isn't a second crypt and stuff. And even like just a few Gargs would help so much against Griffins. They're kind of bad against Gargs.
And he don't want to produce anyway, so maybe get the upgrade in while you can and you have the resources. It's a
not
cheap
expensive.
upgrade. Yeah, exactly.
It's a small investment.
Pelly close to 3, man.
Yeah, big level. So greedy, I think, to go Devotion also every game. So many humans like swear by that. I mean, I do think Devotion is quite good, but if you end up losing your Pala 3 times in a row, obviously you're going to kind of regret that, which we've seen a lot of. But in this game, with where he's at, I think he knows that what's likely to be attacked is his Griffins that are going to be webbed.
There's still no staff.
If XlorD can get rid of the breakers, he can actually curse pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's sick. Like, mischance on Griffins is incredible. any debuff actually on
Yeah.
Griffins gets rid of a lot of their value. We've seen this
Lich 5 is going to be massive.
triple before, exactly. I was checking the Lich experience, 4.8. Nova is pretty good against Griffins as well.
Look at the concave he's setting up here. He's saying you can't clap everything. Also, Storm Hammers, makes it so that Griffins, they have their own like moon glaive of the hunts, like the attack actually bounced a little bit or like hit in the same area. So he wants to reduce the effectiveness of that. God, it's getting late.
It is. Don't you worry. It's getting late, but XlorD scouting still on point. Send a ghoul to the middle, the stalemate breaker, the concealed hill that gives the name to this map. Might be the decider if
Oh, that's
Chaemiko is
what
able
it
to
means.
claim it. Yeah, Todd. That's what it means.
He's about to have 3-3. These upgrades are just absurd. You rarely see 100 supply of air. And he retrains. Instead of having Bolt level 2, he wants to have Clap level 2. He's going to try to dispel the AMS with Clap and let the Griffins do their thing. Militia, I believe, is coming in as well. That's going to be the gigantic attack here to send Chaemiko, perhaps, into the quarterfinals. Protection scroll, there's no destroyers. Big Clap is going to land at the start of the fight.
Here comes the militia. The boys are here. They're ready to arrest XlorD. Level up for the Pally. That's the level 2 Holy Light. What does the German have to step against this? Not so much as it seems. 66 supply. Chaemiko still towering above him. 95 and seemingly not losing too much. For all the Banshees, I don't see enough anti-magic shell anymore. Is he focusing the heroes finally? He really wants to prevent this expansion. If he wins this fight, it's all over for XlorD. The Lich is melting. The DK wasn't there. And XlorD is out of this tournament. A human made it into the quarterfinals. Chaemiko gets the revenge of XlorD, and the rematch curse is real.
That was a great performance here. Started a little rocky in game 2. It looked like it would be a 2-0, but then he was really able to somehow make it work.
After the destruction that was the winner bracket semifinal, the composure by Chaemiko, the way he accelerated in this tournament, he's a real threat now for everybody. He found his mojo. And XlorD, just like in the regional finals, not going into the playoffs. And I want to hear all about this match from Roddy and Remo and Carson.
Thank you very much, Remo and Todd. What a series to wrap up this day. My goodness. At first, it feels like it's going to be a 2-0. It's not quite a 2-0. But in the end, the Korean human managed to take care of business. I am joined once more by Remo and Carson. Guys, what the hell did we just witness?
That was a crazy end of the day. I think the last two series have just been absolute ridiculousness. The series that would just never end. They would just never give in. There was so many fights after fights after fights. And at the end of the day, Chaemiko closed it out, but not without some real adversity for sure.
No. Remo, what was so different in this series than the first one?
I think Chaemiko had a real good chance to get used to the new style, get some good pointers to check out, and especially the early game. The early game so much better, especially Titanhunters. What a beautiful game. Some of the other games were tougher. The Mass Griffins find their way even into this match.
And that final fight as well, man. And in game 3, holy mother of scrolls. Felt like every 2 seconds I saw a new scroll. Scroll of healing, scroll of protection, scroll of healing, claps, high-level heroes. In game 2, XlorD was able to turn it around. Unfortunately, in game 3, he quite wasn't. We are going to hear from the winner of the final series of the day, as he is joined by Hajin-san and Carson.
All right, I am joined here by Chaemiko, our winner. And that was quite the crazy series. So generally, it was a long day for you. How do you feel overall about your performance today?
8강 축하드립니다. 오늘 진짜 하루 종일 경기도 좀 많았고 진짜 마지막 경기까지 정말 힘들었는데 그래서 전체적인 소감 한마디 부탁드려요.
일단 1차적인 목표가 8강은 진출하자였는데 처음 패스으로 내려가서 좀 쉽지 않겠다 싶었는데 어찌 최종전까지 가게 되고 최종전도 2대1로 이기게 돼가지고 굉장히 만족스럽습니다.
So my goal coming to this tournament was at least go to the round of 8. And when I went to the losers bracket, I thought myself, it's going to be hard, But I'm satisfied that I made it to the quarterfinals for now.
Absolutely. And so there was some real adversity in the first series against XlorD, the 2-0, and honestly, it was kind of dominant from his perspective. What changed from that first series to this second series now?
오늘 엑소로드 상대로 첫 경기를 했으면 사실 2대0으로 조금 압도적인 경기가 나왔는데 이번 세트는 접전도 많이 보고 2대1로 승리를 거두셨습니다. 어느 점이 달랐었나요?
일단은 첫 번째 매치 때는 제가 스튜디오 무대다 보니까 굉장히 긴장을 많이 했어요. 그래가지고 뭐 해보기도 전에 두 게임이 다 끝났던 것 같은데 일단 좀 정신 차리고 좀 그나마 최종전 할 때는 적응이 돼가지고 그러면서 이제 엑스로드 선수도 실수가 나오더라고요. 그거를 좀 잘 캐치해서 이길 수 있지 않았나 싶네요.
So in the first match against XlorD, we were playing on stage and I was pretty nervous and when I realized the match was already over. But in the game we just played, in the whole match, I think XlorD made a few mistakes as well and I was able to use that to win and I adapted myself also to the environment, so
For sure.
I was able to win.
And did the warm-up against Lucy help quite a bit?
루카의 선수한테 했는데 그게 약간 워밍업 같은 효과도 있었나요?
아무래도 대회 전에 어쨌든 게임을 하게 된 거니까 연습이 된 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I played before, so yes, I think it kind of helped as a practice.
For sure. And just one last question for me. Who, if anyone, do you hope to play later on in the tournament?
이번 대회에 꼭 혹시 만나고 싶은 선수가 있을까요?
일단은 오크는 만나기가 싫고요. 굳이 만나면은 제가 생각하기에는 그나마 지금 휴먼이 괜찮은 중국전이 날테프전이라 생각하기 때문에 로라이어 선수를 만나고 싶네요.
So I don't want to play against an orc, and as a night elf, I think if there's a race that I want to play or is okay to face, I guess as a human, I think night elf. I want to face a night elf, so no riot, yeah, probably.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Chaemiko, and well played. Good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll hear from the desk and we'll wrap up the day.